Welcome to another Sciencado travel video. A tiny island with a big heart, booming tourism, and lots to discover. Who doesn't love Bali? If you haven't traveled to Bali yet, or planning to sometime soon, we've put together this guide on the top things travelers need to know before visiting this Indonesian island that's also known as the Island of the Gods. Here are the top 8 things travelers need to know before visiting Bali. 1. How hard is it on the wallet? Bali is more expensive than other parts of Indonesia, and it's one of the relatively more expensive places to travel to in Southeast Asia, but compared to Europe or North America, it's a dream. For long-stay tourists, the cost of living in Bali is that it will vary depending on where you're staying. According to the website Nomadlist, the average monthly cost of living in Canggu is around $1,500 USD per month. Ubud is just a little less at $1,376 per month on average. If you head north to the town of Lavina, costs will be much lower. It depends on where you want to visit and what you want to experience in Bali. Let's break down the costs to give you a better idea. Hotels. A mid-range hotel, sometimes with a pool, can range between $25 to $50 or more per night. If you want to stay longer in Bali, there's a possibility to rent a villa, and this will help cut some costs in the longer term. Food. A local meal can be found for less than $4, and you can also splurge at a beachside restaurant on a $20 meal, appetizers included. Transportation. Being an island, the main way to get around in Bali is by motorbike. A scooter rental will set you back anywhere between $40 to $70 per month, and daily rentals shouldn't cost you more than $5. 2. How friendly are the locals in Bali? In general, Balinese people are friendly, open, and welcoming people. Their traditional culture and way of life means that there are lots of customs and etiquette to abide by, but travelers to the region typically feel safe and welcomed on the island. This is a tricky thing to generalize because everyone's travel experience is different. But if you are respectful to the locals, you will be given the same treatment right back, which is similar to most places around the world. That being said, the expat and traveler community in Bali is very tight, so you can easily make friends with other travelers here. 3. Bali customs and culture. This is probably the most important section on our list. Bali is a sacred island with lots of customs that locals live by every day. While there's been a massive influx of travelers and expats arriving on the island for decades now, the Balinese try to preserve their culture. 87% of the people in Bali currently identify as Hindu, and it's also the only place in Indonesia where the population is predominantly practicing Hindus. Here's a rundown of the top customs and etiquette practices to follow when visiting Bali. Don't point at anyone. Don't touch the head of a local, so, don't go patting random kids on the head even if they are super cute. Take off your shoes when entering a local's home. Don't let your foot soles show while sitting. Don't cross your arms or put your hands on your tips. These are seen as aggressive postures. Be mindful of the offerings on the ground and don't crush them. Don't engage in a political discussion or activity, especially with any locals. You might be in the clear, but it is much more serious for the locals. Temple etiquette. Temples are superfluous in Bali, so following the right protocol when visiting a temple is super important. Take off your shoes before entering. Dress modestly. Keep your shoulders and legs covered. Put on a sarong to cover your legs when entering a temple. According to religious teachings, women on their periods can't enter any temples or other sacred places of worship. 4. Top trending things to do in Bali. The Monkey Forest Sanctuary. You've probably seen it on Instagram, and it's also a must-do when visiting Bali. After visiting Monkey Forest, you can easily fill your days in Bali enjoying the island's many beautiful beaches and temples. Some of the most notable temples are Gunung Kawi Temple near Ubud and Pura Lempuyang Luhur, which is located along the eastern tip of the island. If you want to get a little under the radar, the West Bali National Park covers an area of over 70 square miles and serves as a sanctuary for over 100 species of birds, endangered plants, marine life, and so much more. Guides are available for hire at the park's entrance, and most of the nearby hotels also arrange tours of the park. 5. Is Bali safe for travelers? Bali consistently rates as a safe destination for international travelers. Reported muggings and other crimes are relatively rare, but it's still important to exercise a normal amount of caution when traveling. The biggest safety issues that most travelers experience in Bali is actually with transportation. Bali is filled with narrow, winding roads that aren't great for walking and can be tricky when driving a scooter. Make sure to be careful when walking along a main road and when driving a motorbike because lots of accidents do occur, especially among tourists. Bali is also a safe destination for women travelers. Just make sure to respect the local customs and don't dress too immodestly when venturing outside of the beach or pool area. Walking around during the day you won't have any issues, but make sure to have your wits about you if you find yourself wandering at night. 6. Travel insurance tips for your trip. Remember, travel insurance is always a good idea when going on any type of trip. Get yourself covered with the right health insurance in case of a motorbike accident or if your belongings get stolen or lost at some point during your trip. 7. Local eats in Bali. While some cafes in Bali can do a pretty good smoothie bowl, that's surprisingly not the main dish on the island. When it comes to local Balinese food, indulge yourself in a mouth-watering satay, meat or veggie meat on a stick with a spicy peanut buttery sauce, lawar, finely chopped meat and vegetables mixed with shredded coconut, and of course, nasi goreng, fried rice, Indo-style. Nasi means rice in Bahasa Indonesia, one of Bali's two main languages. So, it's safe to say that you'll never pass a market in Bali or the rest of Indonesia without seeing some sort of nasi dish. 8. What are some of the top experiences? From fire dances at sunset to sunrise hikes on volcanoes, Bali is filled with unforgettable experiences. If you're looking for some outdoor adventure, there are plenty of tours available where you can hike up to the scenic Mount Batur with a group and with the help of a guide. Hit the like button if you like this video and share your ideas in the comment section. And of course do subscribe.